Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ram Nation. My name is Eric Novak. Along with me is Mr. Jake Torciello. We are back again, Season 3, Episode 1 of Ram Nation. We're really excited. We have two guests with us today. Our first guest, I'm going to introduce Natalia Donato. And our second one
is Carly Wysocki.
Awesome. Really excited to have you guys. You want to say hello?
Hey. Hi.
Thank you, too. So we're going to get this going here. And today, and first off, thank you, too, so much for joining us for, being the first guest for this year's podcast. Real quick, just a shout out to Natalia. Natalia, I met you this year. And you have just been a pleasure to have in class. It's been awesome to get to know you. Anytime that you come up in any conversation with, whether it may be peers or other teachers, they only say positive things about you, and just how focused you are and how intelligent you are, and that you just are attention to detail. And I've seen that in the classroom. I've seen how you interact with other students, especially in Tomorrow's Leaders, and even with the freshman seminar. So I'm just grateful that I've gotten to get to know you this year. And I'm excited that, we're still in the early stages of this year and we still have some time left in Tomorrow's Leaders. So thank you again. Thank you for being you.
Thank you, Mr. Novak. That was really kind of you.
And for Carly, so Carly, you were nominated by Mr. Douglas. And so some things that Mr. Douglas said here that, I can attest to as well, as I had you as a ninth grader in my World History Honors class. He had talked about how your ability for balance with your workload and your after-school requirements is spectacular, that you have a lot of integrity, that you work really hard in the classroom, and that you're kind of like this consummate professional, which essentially means like you are the definition of a role model student, which I think is really spectacular. And I agree as well. Having you in the classroom is Mr. Novak. What are we doing here?
I was just going to take this and sorry to interrupt everyone.
Yeah, the audience, I was reading from my computer and Mr. Novak
I took his computer
and then started waving it around.
Are you done?
No, it's good.
Oh, okay, I just wanted to, Mr. T did a great thing there of saying that who nominated you, and I just wanted to share who nominated Natalia. That's why I was taking that. Sorry for that.
No, that's totally fine.
All right, so anyway, the person that nominated you, Natalia, was Mrs. Roberts, and she said Natalia's an awesome student, exceptional student who's always willing to help not only other students, but also the teacher. She's a compassionate person who genuinely cares about others. I just wanted to share that since, you talked about Mr. Douglas. So thank you for that. And sorry for the interruption with that.
Yeah, but it's amazing that these two obviously nominated the two of you. And I hope that, you have a great relationship with these teachers as well. But every time that your names are brought up with any of the staff at the school, it's always like oh my goodness. They want to say something positive about you before the conversation continues. So that's a testament to the two of you.
Nice job, you two. Nice job.
Thank you.
All right. So, this whole episode is catered around, me and Mr. Torciello decided to make this about balance, and we felt like you two were great examples of this. You both have a lot going on. Maybe I'm not going to share that exactly right now because you guys are going to talk about this, but point being, you both have a lot going on in your life during school, outside of school, and you both do such an exceptional job of balancing that and making it all work. And so to start us off here, our first question, and either one of you can go first here, is when your schedule gets crazy, what's the first thing you do to get yourself back on track?
What I like to do, what has personally helped me, I started this probably around my sophomore year of high school. I write everything down in my notes app on my phone because I learned that I'm more likely to open my phone than a notebook. So that way I check off things, and I usually do it by top priority. If something's less of priority, I don't stress myself out over it. But I do make sure to get to it eventually, and that keeps me on track, I feel.
Thank you. Carly?
I think I do something similar. I do write down stuff in a notebook because I think crossing things off helps me. I see what I have to do, and then crossing it off feels accomplishing. But I think my biggest thing when I see my schedule is getting busy is not procrastinating, because you can think oh, this project's not due for a week or something like that. But I try and get it done as things come instead of letting them accumulate.
So how do you guys are both talking about, creating kind of this list of things you need to get done. what do you do as far as time management goes? You know, if you know that something's due in a week, is it I need to get it all done as soon as possible, or do you kind of find that you're chunking things out over the course of the week and divvying up your time that way?
I feel like I chunk things out because like it's also like really you can't like expect yourself to be able to do all of these things because you know you have 9 periods. That's a lot of work, and especially if you're taking APs honors classes, you can't really expect yourself to be taking everything on all at once. I feel like if a project is due in a week, maybe I'll work on some of it Monday, some of it the next day, give it a break, work on some other stuff, come back to it, finish it before it's due. That's what really helps me.
I think I chunk my work based on days. So I know the days I have more stuff after school, so like practice or work or something. So the days that I have like slower afternoons, I'll try and get more work done on those days compared to my busy days.
And so one more follow-up question there, because I feel like as you're prioritizing things, and whether it be work or sports with school, do you feel like going into it that there needs to be a sacrifice made as far as social life, or you feel like I have a lot of schoolwork, so I have to sacrifice a little bit of my work priority, or I have to sort of sacrifice a little bit more of maybe athletics or anything along those lines? And how do you go about, you know, getting yourself in the mindset to be able to make those sacrifices, you know, successfully?
I think there is some sort of sacrifice you have to make because you can't like spread yourself too thin. So if you do have a lot of work, like schoolwork, I feel like you have to get that done because that's like a reflection of you, like that's staying in there. Where social life, something like that, like where if you miss one event, that's I think easier in my opinion. Like something like this year, my parents told me to like cut back on my hours on work because they'd rather me sacrifice that than like school, social, athletics. So I think it's picking what you value and then going from there.
Yeah, I feel definitely like you do have to sacrifice, like, you know, like you said, like part of the social life and like sometimes even work. But I do feel like, especially like me sometimes, if I cut back too much on my social life and I feel like I'm like, you know, doing so much work and I get overwhelmed because I'm like, oh my God, like I'm working like almost like too hard, you know, like I can't handle all of it and I take myself away from my social life. I get almost like, not FOMO, but like I want to, that my friends make me feel better in the end. So, especially my family too, they always know what to say and to help me out. So I feel like, yeah, I do sacrifice some time, but I definitely don't sacrifice all of my time.
With that being said, you mentioned family, friends. Is there anyone that both of you want to just give a shout out to right now for that? Because listen, I know that you're super dedicated to soccer. You have a lot going on with that, and you know you have 2 jobs, and you have a lot to balance outside of that. Is there anyone that has just helped you with your balance that you just want to say thank you to right now? That whether it has to do with balance or in life in general, specifically your senior year.
I would say my mom. My mom has taught me everything I know, and especially with time management. She's been on top of me since I was a little kid. But as I've grown up, she's like, you know, like let loose on me a little bit. So I feel like that kind of left it up to me to kind of project what she taught me into as I'm getting to an adult.
Love it.
I'd shout out my dad because I think he really makes an attempt to make things easier on me. So if he knows that I'm going to have to go from practice to work or something like that, like he'll make me dinner or he'll do something like that just to make it easier on me.
Awesome. Mr. T.
Yeah, so I think the two of you like really wise words, and I think these are things that one work for you, but two, I think it really gives a nice perspective as to, you know, how two successful seniors went about their high school career and kind of like what you've culminated yourself into, which I think is pretty awesome. Going on, like segueing into a little bit something a little bit different here. What's something that you feel that you were proud of that you don't necessarily get to talk about as much?
I would just say my family. I would say, yeah, they shaped me into the person I am today, and they've all played a role into who I am, I feel. So I'm really proud to say I'm a part of that.
Awesome. Thank you.
I think I'm proud of the group like I surround myself with. So I think I've made good decisions about like who I spend my time with and like choose to share things about myself with, because I think they're all valuable people.
Well said. There's a famous quote, and I think you two both represent this well, is that, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. And you guys both are, obviously are doing that, and you just mentioned that, so that's great. One last question, and then we'll get into our for fun round. We're just going to do like a speed round of questions. But the last one is, if you could give it one piece of advice to a student who feels overwhelmed, what would it be? Whether that's, you can specify into if they're overwhelmed, or just advice in general for like a freshman or incoming freshman.
I would say don't procrastinate, and I would delegate your time fairly. Like, you don't want to, like, I feel like I said this earlier, you don't want to give all your time into schoolwork, because I feel like then you'll lose value in your other relationships, like your family, your friends, anybody else that you really value in your life. I feel like it's super important to make them feel important as well.
I would say to put all your attention into the things you're doing at that time. So if you're at school, like focus your time on doing your schoolwork. So if you get like extra time during the period, maybe start your homework or something like that. And when you're at sports, like focus on being at sports. Don't worry about the homework you have to do after sports. And when you're hanging out with your friends, like be present there. Because I think like you stress yourself out about what you have to do in the future instead of like being where you are, and that's how you feel like overwhelmed.
Yeah, I think that was really well said for both of you, honestly. Like that, to compartmentalize yourself and value where you are. So if you're in school, give all of yourself to that class. If you're in the hallways talking to your friends, give all of yourself to that moment where you have a moment to like build relationships and kind of fortify those bonds. And the same thing for you, Natalia. You're talking about like, it's important to balance your time, but at the same time, part of that balance needs to be something that resets you. Mm-hmm. And gives you like a little bit of solace and happiness. Mm-hmm. And I think the two of you there kind of really nailed it on the head.
All right. Yeah, 100% agreed. And thank you for that. So we're going to do a speed round now. Are you guys ready for this?
So ready.
Yes. All right. Very good. It'll be a fun competition, really lighthearted. I have 15 questions here that I'm just going to kind of throw at you. And first one to get it right, I'm going to give you a little point. I'm keeping track of it over here.
Mr.
All right,
Novak,
so whoever
do we have
says it
a
first.
sound effect for anything like that?
I got a new soundboard over here. Let's see here. Yeah, this is all right. That's I don't know if I'm going to use that. All right, I don't know what that was. Either way, I don't know if I'm going to use them.
Yeah, we don't need a sound effect.
Yeah, no. But all right, here we go. So whoever gets it first. All right. Okay. So what is the capital of the United States?
Washington, D.C.
Okay, good. Carly.
What?
Oh my gosh.
We're just going to keep going. How many continents are there?
7.
Nice, Natalia. 1-1. It's close. What planet do we live on?
Earth.
Oh, that's a tie.
What kind of question is that?
It's a good one.
What do plants need to make food?
Water,
photosynthesis.
sunlight.
Good. I'll take who said water first? All right, Carly. It's 2-1. What shape has 3 sides?
Triangle.
Nice, Natalia. It's 2-2. How many minutes are there in an hour?
60.
Tie.
Yeah.
What is I'm sorry. What is H2O better known as?
Water.
Carly.
Dang it.
What do you call a baby dog?
Puppy.
Who do you want to give that to?
I feel like a tie. If
Tie,
you had to ask
yeah,
me.
yeah.
All right. We'll have to give it a tie. What is the longest river in the world?
Nile.
Nice job, Natalia. All right. Who was the first president of the United States?
George Washington.
Bonus
Nice.
question. What color was George Washington's white horse?
White.
Oh,
Nice tie.
They
was
got
a
it.
tie.
Tie. But we'll give the
We're
first.
on it. We're on it.
Natalia
Yeah.
said it first, right? So it's 4 to Carly. 4 points for Natalia, 3 for Carly.
okay.
How many days are there in a leap year?
364. 3.
366.
Oh, wait.
Nice job,
Nice.
Carly.
More
Got
or less,
it.
I don't know.
Tied it up 4-4. What is the largest mammal on Earth?
Oh,
An
a whale.
elephant?
What kind
What
of whale?
kind?
Humpback.
Blue whale.
Blue whale, Natalia. Nice job. What 2 colors make purple?
Red,
Red
and
and
blue.
blue.
Nice job, Carly.
Dang
It's
it.
5-5. 2 questions left.
Why?
How many quarters are in a dollar?
4.
Natalia. Last one. What is the fastest land animal?
Cheetah.
Oh,
Who said that?
Natalia.
Yeah.
Natalia, take the gold.
Yeah.
Really nice try, though. Really nice job.
Let's go.
Well done. Well done.
All right. So that concludes our episode, everyone. Season 3, episode 1. Just want to thank you two so much again for coming on. You two are awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys accomplish throughout the rest of your senior year.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having
Yeah,
us.
appreciate
you.
it. Thanks for coming on.
Absolutely. Thank you. Take care, everyone. See you next time.